Hello, I'm Matthew McNee. Today my presentation is about using digital maps to build research questions relevant to Falkland Island farmers. And I'd like to acknowledge my co-authors in the above right. There's 84 farms on the Falkland Islands producing wool and a little bit of meat. They're very extensive grazing systems with huge variability, low levels of labour. They're difficult to manage and it's difficult to observe. For us, it's difficult to detect opportunities to improve the system. When SARI produced soil maps, there was a great opportunity for us to understand better the variation that exists in the system. But there was a challenge to demonstrate the local usefulness to the farmers. And so the Department of Agriculture took this task on through its normal advisory services and the farmer-based research program. Our hypothesis was that the digital maps will be useful to do OFE. And so we started a consultation process with the farmers. Our method was simply to tour 15 farms and discuss with farmers what they could do with the maps around their kitchen table. We brought different expertise to the table. The two advisors, myself and Andrew Bendall, were agronomy and sheep management. And we also had the support of SARI through its digital expertise. The process was basically exploratory. It was part of discovering how the farms function. It was presented as a potential but not compulsory add-on to the farmer-based research program where a farmer might like to initiate an on-farm experiment. It was a success. The digital maps opened up a constructive data-driven dialogue. Farmers identified salient features in the landscape, such as more dangerous natural ditches near fertile zones where sheep frequent. They challenged data where fertile areas on the maps were now clay patches, and this opened up interesting discussions about why that's so. They related data to site-specific opportunities that they'd previously identified, so places in the landscape where they thought they might be able to restore tussock. They related outcomes from the same management in different environments. One that was very common was differential performance between set stock lambing camps. They described past experimentation to understand variation in management outcomes. And so the best management practices that come from experiments often then have different results across the landscape when they're transferred. And then this led to us identifying future actions with the farmers and using this new information. So basically the maps serve to increase the confidence for farmers to embark on processes like adaptive grazing management. Within that process of understanding the future actions, we were able to identify unknowns. Like we may be able to see that there's some aluminium toxicity issues, but aren't sure whether this is going to be a problem. And then there's the basis for the continued existence of such unknowns. And this really spoke to the process of OFE. If we change too many things all at once, how are we going to know what's caused what? And so the conclusions are that yes, the digital maps were a great tool to support OFE. When introduced early, the digital maps, they can change the way the experimentation would have been done. They identify new entry points for exploration and experimentation. We come up with questions that weren't there before. We're identifying new local points of reference, indicators, and things that we would like to measure. So, we're likely to challenge the pre-existing perceptions of the land when we connect OFE and the soil maps, and this will be for the better. Thank you very much.